Hey, good day. Welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Let's just get something out in the open right now. Yes, I have an orange tongue, so if you see it, it's okay. I had a glass of Kool-Aid, and I guess my mouth went orange. Okay, current blood sugar is sitting at 6.2. Fully calibrated, I have 1.975 units left. I started the day off all night. I was up high 10, and so I took some correction last night, along with the machine giving me correction, and now I'm down at 6.2, which is pretty much a good win here. Excellent job. Time and range. Well, yesterday we had a great day. We were 100%. Today, it's not so much. Remember, I told you, if you can't reach the 100, don't be so upset about it. You can do better. We just gotta work on it. That's pretty much all we have to do here. Today is 86% time and range. It's still over the 70 threshold. I'd like mine to try to be 90 to 100, so we're a little low. 14% above 10 in the last 24 hours. Below is 86%. This is a win, and we're celebrating our win by 0 below 3.9. This is up, so this brings this number up a bit. So average blood sugar was 8.1. Today, I want to discuss, was I a rebel? Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Let's go. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. During my life as a diabetic, I got diabetes at 13. I was not the model diabetic. I had lows. I can remember going to my GP at the time because I was having lows. He was upset that the school nurse was calling him, and they ended up having the school doctor from the school board calling him too, and he was just upset. Okay, we'll cut you back your insulin. You should be fine now. I ended up having to go back into the hospital and get recalibrated or put back into control. That was my second time within the hospital. It was within an hour, a year and a half. So, all in all, it was a pretty exciting year. During that time, I went from being a fresh diabetic to where my mother and stepfather left to go work in Fiji, and I lived with my sister. I was pretty well said, here's everything, you know what to do. My sister was early 20s, I was probably about 14. And she was about 15. She was about 21, 22 at the time. she was living her own life. She wasn't really interested in managing my own diabetes. She went with me to the doctor that day. I guess the doctor said, well, you should have parental person here. So we went. I don't know why, but she kept the supplies. I had everything I needed insulin. She made sure I had insulin. She made sure I had enough supplies so that I could live my life. Though granted, in school, I wasn't sort of the best diabetic. I wasn't terrible at it, but I wasn't the best. While I was with my sister, I got an electric typewriter for my birthday. I had wanted to learn how to type, thought this was great. So I had an old urine testing book, and in there I had started writing and I had lost that, so was using little sheets of paper to write down urine tests. I was keeping them all controlled, so I thought it would be great. I could sit there, new typewriter, I'll sit there, I'll type out everything I need to do. I typed it out, I took it in, I was so proud that, here's my records, everything. And he pretty well yelled at me, saying, this is no way to keep records. You're just making things up. It wasn't me making things up. I think it was my body telling its story. I may have been starting to be a problem diabetic back then. But no, I didn't keep records. You have to keep better records. Go to the drugstore right now and get a record keeping book. And I want to see that full up and no more of this making up numbers. That was it. That was the last time I went to see him. I went out, and instead of saying, hey, I no longer have a doctor, maybe we should get a doctor. I just did things on my own. For about 6-7 years, I did everything on my own. I would diagnose problems, I would take insulin, I would lower my insulin, I would eat whatever I wanted to. So was I a rebel? Damn right. No one was gonna tell me I was wrong. And I pretty well went on this road until I got an endocrinologist just by accident. I saw her and she said, well, I'd like to see you out of the hospital. So after I was finally diagnosed, or discharged, not diagnosed, I was already diagnosed, I started to see her, and that lasted 20 years. And she saw me through my 9-month ordeal, and that started me growing up as a diabetic. I honestly have to say that was the time I seriously grew up as a type 1 diabetic. To this day, I don't do well in anyone scolding me about my diabetes and, you know, anything along those lines. I had another occasion that started me off on the wrong foot. I was diagnosed October of 77. My first endocrinologist was an old doctor who I don't think really liked kids or coming into the children's hospital at the time. A miscommunication of a story I told reached him, and I said, I wish my home care would be as simple as David's, because David just takes pills and can manage his condition with pills. His condition was leukemia. So the doctor kind of spent 3/4 of an hour yelling at me about, you don't want to have cancer. Do you know what about? I said, I never said I wanted cancer, but I didn't see him much after that. I saw the residents. I never saw him again. I was discharged. We left the hospital. I went home. I started my road as diabetic. That was the same sort of tone I heard from my GP about all my urine tests. And back then it was urine tests, not blood tests. So I don't do well like that. Supportive where people can find answers. I'm a problem diabetic. Along the road, before I kind of really started to take interest in my diabetes for myself, I was in and out of hospital all the time. I was transferred between hospitals because the doctor couldn't control the blood sugar. And I always got from everyone, what are you eating? What are you doing? Why are your blood sugars so high? And it was always accusatory. Now, if you're a diabetic who's out there eating whatever they want, not counting the carbs correctly, okay, well, we may have a little bit of issues. But for someone who tried and I'd get out of the hospital and I'd have perfect, not perfect, but I had okay blood sugars. And then something would go amiss, I'd forget a shot or do something. I wouldn't say phone to home, which was like 2 blocks, and say, hey, can you bring up a bottle of insulin and a syringe? I forgot to take my shot. I get the lecture, oh well, you know you need to take better control. All this really kind of reinforces the rebellion type in me. So, was I rebellious? Yes, because people were pretty well telling me, it's all you, your diabetes problems you're having are all you. You're eating what you're not supposed to be eating, you're not taking your insulin properly. And there was a little truth of that. But I was even getting this when I was really trying to get better diabetes control. So, yes, I guess I was a bit of a rebel. And any type 1 diabetic who has grown into adulthood with diabetes probably was a bit of a rebel sometime within their life. A lot get out of it a lot quicker than I did. And even when I tried to get out of it, I couldn't. And now I'm living with hypoglycemia unawareness. I'm a severe labile brittle diabetic. So, was I a rebel? Yes. With that, have a great day and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My next vlog topic will be Hey, it's Mike. Just to let you know, tomorrow's topic, we're going to take a look at won't versus can't. I have a little bit. I think the two topics today was I Rebellious and won't versus can't. May have a little bit of overlap. But still, it'd be exciting to see you again. Have a great day and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.